Hello there and welcome back to Tatooine Tableflip. I'm Jimmy and today I'll be reviewing Legend of the Five Rings LCG from Fantasy Flight Games. Let's get this thing to the table, shall we? Legend of the Five Rings, the card game, now published by Fantasy Flight Games, is a re-implementation of the ridiculously popular collectible card game once offered by AEG. This new version offers beautiful art, streamlined rules, and a fantastic entry point for those new to the land of Rokugan. I've spoken a bit before about my time as a card flopper. One of the games I've played a lot of over the years is Legend of the Five Rings CCG. Originally produced by AEG, the game has a long and storied history, and I was there right at the beginning. That's not me bragging, it's just where I was gamer-wise at the time. See, I'd been taught Magic and had eventually moved over to Jihad. I was primed to try any CCG that came along. L5R was unlike anything I'd ever played. A grand, sweeping, character-driven story, fantastic player base, and a rulebook nearly as thick as my pinky. I loved it, but it turns out I wasn't anywhere near ready to tackle a game so dense. Consequently, I moved in and out of the game over the years, finally culminating with me leaving the game behind when interest in my area died down. When FFG announced that they'd purchased the rights to the IP, I was really excited, but also kind of wary. Turns out I needn't have worried. This is the Legend of the Five Rings LCG, and here's how it works. You and one of your friends take control of one of the 7 great clans of Rokugan, and through either political intrigue or military strength attempt to outwit each other. This ultimately presents 3 paths to victory: breaking your friend's stronghold, gaining 25 honor, or watching your friend run out of honor. These are all accomplished in one fashion or another via the meat of the game: conflict. While winning either by gaining 25 honor or watching your friend lose all of their honor is pretty self-explanatory, breaking provinces and ultimately attacking your friend's stronghold is the real goal here. You and your friends take turns playing characters and effects to the field in the hopes that you will turn any conflict to your advantage. You mainly play your characters from your provinces, areas on your field that act as both sort of a resource slot and a defensive wall. If you break 3 of the provinces, you're free to attack your friend's stronghold. And if you break the province the stronghold is in, you win the game. These are your provinces, areas in Rokugan that you and your forces control and ultimately protect your stronghold from attack. Each of them starts the game face down, but when they're assaulted during a conflict, they're turned face up, potentially revealing very powerful abilities. You draw cards from your Dynasty deck and deal 1 to each province, refilling after you've played cards from them. Certain part of the turn, you turn the cards face up, revealing characters that then you have the opportunity later to pay the cost for and put into play, or holdings that stay on the province and add to its strength, also probably providing a pretty decent effect. These are your characters, and in a twist from the old version, they don't persist, instead leaving play at the end of the turn. However, once you pay to put them into play, you have the opportunity to prolong their stay by adding tokens directly to them, as many as you care to afford. At the end of the turn when they would normally leave play, you instead remove 1 of the tokens. At the end of the turn that they have no tokens left, then they would be removed from play. This was the largest hurdle in the game for me to get past, because it felt like paying for a character twice when ultimately they were just going to leave the game anyway. But what it actually accomplishes is fostering interaction between the players, because it comes down to literally use it or lose it. Your characters have 2 stats: military strength, this red number here, or political strength, this blue number here. Once you send your character out into a conflict, you declare what type of conflict they're fighting and you use the appropriate stat. Sounds pretty simple, right? And while some of the conflicts surely are, most of them actually play far deeper than that, thanks to the range of options you're presented with by using effects or abilities or attachments or one of the titular 5 rings. More on that in a minute. This number can be modified any number of ways, and ultimately, when all is said and done, whoever has the highest number wins the conflict. One of the greatest mechanics the game employs, in my opinion, is the use of the rings during conflict. As the attacker, you will choose which of the 5 rings you'd like to use, and you set it to either the military side or the political side. This not only acts as sort of a shorthand for what type of a conflict is going on at the province you're attacking, but each ring also carries its own ability, and they count in for the contest for the Imperial favor at the end of the phase. This adds an immense amount of crunch to an already very crunchy game, as you try to suss out which of the abilities would be best to foist upon your friend and when. These are the honor and fate tokens. Fate is the main resource of the game and is what you will spend to put cards into play. Each turn you'll gain an amount of fate equal to the number listed on your stronghold card, and any unspent fate carries over from turn to turn. Honor, on the other hand, is a completely different animal in that it serves a single purpose in the game, the honor win condition. But Jimmie, I hear you say, surely you spend honor for other effects and abilities. Well, yeah, you do, but ultimately this still falls under the mechanic of moving you closer to or further away that honor win condition. Take, for example, the honor bid mechanic during the draw phase of the game. You and your friend will bid between 1 and 5 using one of these dials, the number being the number of cards you're going to draw for the turn. But take care, because if you bid higher than your friend, you're going to be paying them the difference in honor. This presents a fairly unique conundrum in that if you try to run hard and fast for any of the cards you need in your deck, you're going to end up spending yourself into oblivion. The first suggestion I'll make is this. If you were a player of the old CCG L5R, leave your baggage at the door. Seriously, the minute you start comparing the two is the minute you're going to convince yourself that either this version is too simplistic or that it's not as much fun to play, possibly because some of the mechanics you love have been excised from the game. It still retains quite a bit of the feel of the old version, which is fantastic. And I dare say that I love this version better. It's simply a tighter, cleaner version of the rule set. I also love the artwork, both on the front and the back of the cards. These things are gorgeous. It is simply a beautiful game to look at. And I love that they've broken the rings out of cards and put them into these discs, and that they've paired the colors for the conflicts, red for military and blue for political, across the cards and the tokens as well. But on top of that, everything is pretty much symbol driven, so if you have any friends who are colorblind, there won't be an issue with them playing the game either. The only real issue I have is that while a satisfying 2-player experience right out of this box, if you plan on building standard size decks, the 40 to 45 card deck size, you can't do it out of here. You need 2 core sets. And if you're going to play competitively, you're going to need 3. For beautiful art, a fantastic, deep yet easy to learn, easy to teach rule set, and just simply loads of fun packed into this box, this game has absolutely earned its spot on my game shelf. That's going to be it for this time. You can find us on the web at boardgamerblues.com or at Facebook and Twitter at @BoardGamerBlues. And if you like, you can shoot me an email directly. Tell me what you want to see, what you don't want to see, what you like, what you don't like, etc. We've had a lot of good feedback and a bunch of great emails from you guys. The address is jimmie@boardgamerblues.com. Also, I invite you guys to become a producer on Tatooine Tableflip by visiting our Patreon page located at patreon.com/Tatooine Tableflip. Hey you guys, if I'm not embroiled in a battle over one of my provinces, I'll see you next time on Tatooine Tableflip. Thanks for watching, everybody. Bye.